please rise for a moment of silence. Keep all our troops in our prayers. Salute to the flag, Dennis.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood.
Here.
Freeholder Barrett Belante.
Here.
Freeholder Kenny. Freeholder Polos. Freeholder Tamaro.
Here.
Freeholder Valenti.
Here.
Freeholder Director Rios.
Here. We have some recognitions tonight.
Yes, we have a few. Recognizing August as Fibrodysplasia Ossificans Progressiva Awareness Month in Middlesex County. Next is recognizing Zachary Atanisi of Old Bridge as Gatorade's New Jersey Scholastic Baseball Player of the Year. Next is recognizing Jim Ballard of Piscataway Township and Steve Klein of Old Bridge Township as they are inducted into the Babe Ruth Hall of Fame. Next is recognizing Anna Ashkenis on the occasion of her retirement as Executive Director of the Cultural and Heritage Commission. And last is recognizing the 25th anniversary of Middlesex County Taubenslag Theater Camp.
Okay, at this time, I would like to ask Freeholder Armwood to come ahead and make his presentations.
Good evening, everyone. If I could have Zach Atianis here. I was reading an article in the newspaper, and it was talking about this young man who was a phenomenal athlete and had been named the Gatorade Player of the Year. And as I read a little bit further into the article, it mentioned that he was only a sophomore in high school. I said, we have to get this young man in to recognize him, because if you're not familiar with the Gatorade Award, it doesn't just recognize athletic ability. It looks at the student in a holistic way, how they do academically, how they do in the community. So this is a tremendous honor that's been given to Zach. And Zach, on behalf of the Freeholder Board, I just wanted to recognize you tonight, and I'm going to turn over the microphone to you, okay?
I just want to say thank you to all my friends, family, and coaches, and my mom and dad that are here to support me.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Can I have Anna come on up? Okay. For Anna Ashkenis, I'm going to say this. When I first got appointed to this board, you meet a lot of people from the county. You meet a lot of employees. You meet a lot of other people who are involved with the county. And sometimes you have to meet them a second, third, maybe even 10th time in order to get their name and remember who they are. Anna's not one of those people. Anna's one of those people who you meet and you remember right from the start. If you are having a bad day, I would suggest that you take her phone number tonight, because she's one of the most joyful, optimistic, and upbeat people that I've ever met. Extremely competent and knows this county from inside out. And on behalf of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, I want to thank you for all the service that you've given us into the county of Middlesex. Thank you very much.
There is that saying from the continent of Africa that it takes a village, to raise a child. It took a village for the Cultural and Heritage Commission to do its work. Over the years, we worked with every department, with aging and controllers and treasurers and parks department and road department and central vehicle, public property, in engineering, purchasing, of course, that I want to thank every one of you as department heads and your staff for all the help that you gave to the Cultural and Heritage Commission when I was there, and to all of the freeholders. I think we have worked in each of your towns to do a special project, and I want to thank you for all the support, knowing that arts and history and humanities and museums, you know, you've got so many things that you're dealing with that are so critical to the population, to give your support there too. I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And I am proud of the fact that I worked for the county for, believe it or not, 35 years. So thank you.
I would just like to say thank you to Anna for your hard work, dedication. You taught me a few lessons in arts and cultural heritage, and you really have been an asset to this county, and you really made a difference for a lot of people, and you affected a lot of peoples. And on behalf of the over 800,000 residents of Middlesex County, thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask, is Jim Bullard here? Oh, there he is. You want to make where is it?
Both better.
Okay.
Steve's line too.
Jim, you want to come up? Jim was honored this year by the Babe Ruth Mid-Atlantic region by being entered into their Hall of Fame. Jim got involved in the Babe Ruth League back in 1988.
Yes, about 25, 76 years ago.
25 or so years ago. And as everybody knows, when you look at a property, you want to buy into a community, you want to see if you want to live there and raise your kids there, you look for how are the schools, how is the local government, and more importantly, how are the recreation programs there? Are there stuff there for your kids to do? And you need volunteers to do that. You know, a lot of the parents volunteer their times. Their kids are involved for a couple of years. They're there for a couple of years. They participate in league management, making sure the games are played, the kids are involved, and they're having a good time. Jim took it a step further. Jim, as we've heard, put in 25 years. He didn't want to leave. He enjoyed it very much. And Jim's going to tell you about exactly what he did with the Babe Ruth League in Piscataway. But Jim's also a councilman there. He's didn't stop there. He moved on. I know if you go around Piscataway, Jim knows just about everybody. He's at the senior events, the kids events. He's all over town. And I just want to have Freeholder Armwood say something before we have Jim come up here and speak. But we are recognizing Jim for his entrance into the Babe Ruth Hall of Fame for the Mid-Atlantic region. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I know Jim a little bit. No, I worked with Jim, and he was my colleague on the town council. And even before then, if you're in Piscataway, you know of Jim Bullard because it wasn't about politics. Jim's always been involved in the community. He's been involved with not just the young people, as this recognition obviously notifies, but he's been involved with the senior citizens. And there's no bigger advocate for senior citizens, I don't think, in the county than Jim Bullard. At every meeting, he's reminding you, don't forget our seniors, don't forget our kids, and it's that passion that's being recognized tonight. So, Jim, I just want to thank you, and obviously it was a pleasure working with you on the town council, and it's great to see you go to higher heights here.
Thank you very much. Well, first, I would like to thank the Freeholders for making this night possible. And you made it so possible that my head is about this big now. And I recall when I got the call a little over a month ago, and the gentleman says, I didn't know who he was, and he says to me, Mr. Bullard, you have been recognized, and you will be in the Hall of Fame unanimously. And I said a few curse words, and he said, no, I'm really serious about that. But generally, when you think in terms of the Hall of Fame, it's something you never think about. I have been with the Little League in Piscataway since my son was knee-high to a flea. And then I enjoyed it so much, so when he moved from Little League, which you have to move at 12, he went on to Babe Ruth. I was the president of the Little League because he didn't want to be Daddy's son anymore. He didn't want to be the manager's son because he felt as though I didn't give him enough playtime. So I said, no problem, I will become the president. I just happened to be the president at that time, and I said I'll be the scorekeeper. This way I was hanging around with him quite a bit. After that, we moved on to Babe Ruth when he was 13, and it goes on. Now, bear in mind that one thing, being in the where we are in what is called the Hall of Fame, it's not an easy place because oftentimes you get a letter, which is nice, you get a plaque, which is nice, and so forth. But when you say you're in the Hall of Fame, it takes a lot to be in the Hall of Fame, having that, and every time I get very warm about it. And what it basically means for myself and others, you're not only involved in your town, but you're also involved with the county and also the state. During the baseball season, which has just finished for us, I don't eat home at night because we're out and about from Monroe all the way up to North Jersey, so therefore I try to catch a meal wherever I can. And it's a team thing. This, they said, Jim Bullard at the Hall of Fame, but let me tell you, this is not just a Jim Bullard. If the managers hate you, you're in trouble. If the kids and parents don't like you, you're in deep trouble, and so forth. So you have to work it and make it happen, and I'm sure that that's what has happened to me, and I do appreciate being here tonight, and I see a lot of friends, a lot of people I even recognize, and so forth, and I want to thank all of you.
It's amazing when you think about it. 25 years, people have a career and a job for 25 years they retire from. This was 25 years while he worked, while he raised a family and everything else. So congratulations again, Jim. Is Steve Klein here? He's here. Steve. I'm here, I'm beside you. Now Steve put in an extra year because Steve started in 1987, am I correct? With the Babe Ruth? 88? Okay, then you're tied. All right. So Steve is from Old Bridge, and Steve was involved with the Cheesequake Baseball League and shortly became a member of the board of directors and president of the organization. And Steve also has been inducted into the Babe Ruth Mid-Atlantic League Hall of Fame. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
And so once again, it's about giving back to your community. It's about helping your neighbors, making it a wonderful place to live. Old Bridge is a wonderful place to live. That means the next town's going to be just as good because it's going to rub off, and then the county becomes a great place to live. So I just want to thank you on behalf of the Freeholder Board. I'd like you to say a couple things, if you would.
Sure.
Give us a little history of how long you were there and what you did.
Well, first I'd like to thank the Board of Freeholders for this honor. Again, like Jim said, as I told Margaret earlier, our heads are getting bigger and bigger. We won't be able to fit it through the door soon. I got involved. Well, I love baseball. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and a lot of heartaches there with those guys. And thank you. And when I moved out here, my sons became of age. I became a coach and then a manager. And my younger son was, as Jim's son, was a difficult child to manage. So I got on the board and eventually became the president of the league. And I brought the league several years later into Babe Ruth. And from there, I became an assistant district commissioner, a district commissioner, and eventually the state commissioner. Actually got Jim to be one of my assistant states for a while. I did that for about 6 years. And I dropped back down to an assistant state because, as Jim told you, we have from 195 all the way up to northern Jersey. And it's a lot of running around to do. But my time was spent mostly, I wanted to make sure that the children all got fair playing time, because there are too many coaches that think they're going to the New York Yankees and their kid's going to be the next Derek Jeter, which I wish them all the best of luck, but don't step on the other children doing it. But again, thank you all. It's been a pleasure doing all of this, and I'm still going to continue doing it, and thank you.
All right, I have one more resolution proclamation. I'm not sure what we call them here. Used to be. I used to know, but nowadays I'm a little confused since I moved up. But anyway, with that said, I had the opportunity, I was asked by members of Senator Barnes, Assemblyman Dagnans, and Assemblywoman Pinkins' staff to go present a proclamation one day. And so I said, okay, I'm free. I can make it. So I go over to the Middlesex County College, and it's at the theater arts program, and it's in the theater there, and I go walking in, and I get a little lost, and I'm in this area, and it's real dark, and I don't know where I'm at, and I don't know who to talk to. I can't find anybody. I hear people speaking, but I'm afraid to walk out, through the next spot where there's light. And all of a sudden, this guy comes in, and he turns around, and he says, can I help you? And I go, I'm Charlie Kenny. And he says, oh, no problem. Come on over here. And he takes me out into the auditorium. And I sit down, and what is going on is a wonderful production of Oliver Twist. And it's a summer program that's held at the Middlesex County College. And I'd like to call Michael Taubenslag up now. And hopefully I said it right.
Perfect.
There we go. I won't chance it again. But Michael here was the gentleman that met me in the dark in the wings of the stage, and led me to my seat. And Michael has run, from what I learned, a camp at Middlesex County College, a summer theater camp for kids. For 25 years, it's been at the county college now. But not only that, from what I learned as I was talking to people, it's 50 years in actuality. Am I correct? Because your father started it 50 years ago.
Yeah, actually 54 years ago.
54 years ago. Your father, Elliot.
He started it in East Brunswick. He ran his program. He won a national award for the best program for children in the country. And then the college said, can you do it here? And then he and I were going back and forth. Whose is better? Mine's better.
Little competition there. Well, it ends up being what it is. It's an 8-week course,
Yep.
and there's a different play every week. And the students, or the kids, the campers show up on a Monday, and they pick what play they're going to have, or Michael tells them what they're going to do. They learn their parts, and then they go about and, practice for the 4 days. And on Fridays, they do a production or 2 productions of the show.
Correct.
And it was just a wonderful experience to walk into. One of the best things about when you get elected to a position is you get to go around and see exactly what's happening in the area that you've been elected in. And these are one of those beautiful gems that I just fell upon, was the fact that this camp was going on. And the kids were loving it. I actually knew a couple of the kids from the camp. Yeah, I work as a substitute teacher, and I knew a couple of them from school. And they were telling me how wonderful it is and what a great time it is and how they enjoy Michael. And I said, listen, we all know how directors can be. Is he a little bit of a diva, when the lights aren't on? No, he's a great guy. He's no problem. And they were just singing the joys of this camp. So I wanted to come here. I want you to talk a little bit about the program, if you would. But I wanted to honor and recognize the 25 years that you've been at Middlesex County College, along with the rest of the Freeholder Board. We wanted to take your time and say thank you for what you do at the college and what you do for the kids in our community. So
My wife wants a picture.
we'll get it. You talk first, and then we'll get it.
She'll kill me. I want to say thank you for recognizing Taubenslag Productions, and especially Mr. Kenny. Thank you. I also do this work in schools, and I've been told every week, in this camp, we rehearse for 3 hours, Monday through Thursday and Friday, present the show twice at 9:30 and 11. And people tell me, oh my God, you're a genius. How do you do it? I'm not a genius at all. Basically, I'm doing what I watched Dad do. What I saw my father do is what I do. It comes natural to me. I'm just doing what Dad did. And it's an honor to follow in his footsteps. And again, I'm proud to follow my dad's legacy.
the best thing about what I do is I get to build children's self-esteem. I tell the kids, this is what we're doing here. We're not really here to put on a show, even though that's what we're doing. We're here to work on ourselves, to make ourselves feel better, to build our character. And the kids do. I guess 3 days ago we ended on Friday, and I guess 4 days ago, whatever it was, and a special needs child won Most Improved Camper of the Summer. And he won it at noon, and then we were having the prom at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and I said, you can put your award down. He says, oh no, I won this. I'm carrying it around the whole day with me. I'm not putting it down. And I was so proud of him. But again, I want to say thank you, and I love you, honey. And thank you. I need the picture.
Put it down, it's only fair I got it.
Freeholder Director, may I just add, they run your shows 2 to 3 times a day, every day on Edison TV.
Yes.
So I've got an opportunity to watch it, and you do a wonderful job with the kids, and congratulations. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, correspondence.
Each freeholder has been provided with a list of correspondence received by the clerk's office since our last meeting. This correspondence will be kept on file in the office of the clerk of the board for reference.
Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinances. Public hearing and final adoption.
Ordinance 14-418. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Home News Tribune on July 23, 2014. This public hearing was authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders held July 17, 2014.
The clerk will
read the title. A loan ordinance of the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, approving and authorizing the entering into, execution, and delivery of a loan and security agreement with the Middlesex County Improvement Authority for the undertaking of various 2014 capital improvements and the acquisition and installation as applicable of various equipment with an estimated cost of $13,251,403.81, the cost of such improvements and equipment to be financed through the issuance of county-guaranteed capital equipment and improvement revenue bonds, Series 2014 of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, and authorizing a public hearing to be held Thursday, August 21st, 2014 at 7 p.m., and authorizing publication thereof.
At this time, I'd like to declare the meeting open to the public for the public hearing on this. Anyone in the public that would like to make any comments on this ordinance?
I move to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance number 14-418 on final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood.
Yes.
Freeholder Barrett-Belante.
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny. Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios.
Yes. Okay.
Ordinance 14-003. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Home News Tribune on July 23, 2014. This public hearing was authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders held July 17, 2014.
Clerk will read ordinance number 14-003 by title only.
An ordinance authorizing the guarantee by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, of payment of principal of and interest on the county-guaranteed capital equipment and improvement revenue bonds issued by the Middlesex County Improvement Authority in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $18 million, and authorizing a public hearing to be held Thursday, August 21st, 2014 at 7 p.m., authorizing publication thereof, consenting to such financing, and determining certain other matters in connection therewith.
At this time, I'd like to declare the public hearing open. Anyone in the public that would like to make any comments on ordinance number 14-003?
A motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance number 14-003?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood.
Yes.
Freeholder Barrett-Belante.
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios.
Yes. Okay.
Ordinance 14-002. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Home News Tribune on July 23, 2014. This public hearing was authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders held July 17, 2014.
The clerk will read ordinance number 14-002 by title only.
An ordinance of the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, approving and authorizing the entering into, execution, and delivery of a lease and agreement with the Middlesex County Improvement Authority for the purchase of vehicles with an estimated cost of $1,365,793. The cost of such vehicles to be financed through the issuance of county-guaranteed capital equipment and improvement revenue bonds, Series 2014 of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, and authorizing a public hearing to be held Thursday, August 21st, 2014 at 7 p.m., and authorizing publication thereof.
At this time, I declare the public hearing open for any discussion on ordinance number 14-002.
Motion to close the public portion?
Second.
Motion to close by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Barrett Palante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny? Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valente?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes. Reports of freeholders. Freeholder Ken Armwood.
Thank you. The only thing I have to report for this evening is that today Freeholder Tamaro participated with me in the event that has gone viral that many of you may have seen, which is the Ice Bucket Challenge, fundraiser for the ALSA organization. I would, if you don't want to dump a bucket of ice water over your head, I still would encourage you to donate, as it's a debilitating disease which has no cure right now. You can go to alsa.org and donate. Again, if you don't feel like it, if you do feel like dumping cold ice water bucket over your head, I will tell you to just make sure you hold your breath, because it will catch you off guard. And I dumped 3 buckets on my head. And I also challenged my colleague, Freeholder Charles Kenny, to participate. So now the pressure is on him to do the activity. So that is all that I have this evening. Thank you, Freeholder Director.
Thank you, Freeholder Armwood. Freeholder Deputy Director Carol Barrett Palante.
Thank you, Director. Earlier this month, the county paid tribute to one of its most dedicated public servants and my good friend with the dedication of the James T. Phillips Boardwalk at Old Bridge Waterfront Park. Jim, who passed away far too soon, was always pushing to do more and striving to make things better. That's what made Jim a true public servant. Whether freeholder, state senator, mayor, or Middlesex County treasurer, he dedicated himself to the people he represented. Having worked with him for so many years, I know his passion was the preservation of open space and expansion of parks and recreation facilities. It was Jim, in his time as Middlesex County freeholder and Old Bridge mayor, who championed the establishment and growth of Old Bridge Waterfront Park. Well before that, he helped start the campaign, Say Yes for Open Space, which helped establish the county's Open Space Trust Fund, which now has preserved over 7,500 acres. I think I speak for the entire Board of Chosen Freeholders when I say that Jim's efforts has made this county a more beautiful place. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder Deputy Director. Freeholder Charles Kenny.
The only thing I have tonight, Director, is the budget process for next year has started. Packets have been sent out to each department to start the process for their budgets, and each freeholder will be getting a timeline on how we're going to be moving about this process very shortly in their packets or in an email. That's all I have.
Thank you, Freeholder Kenny. Freeholder Charles Tamaro.
Thank you, Freeholder Director, and I am honored and pleased to announce tonight that the county will be restriping and putting new signs on Livingston Avenue by the Roosevelt School. They plan on starting this Monday, August 25th, and anticipated to be done by August 29th. And we are not stopping there. We are working with the City of New Brunswick to to review and come up with new ways to improve the intersections and the road along Livingston Avenue in New Brunswick for better pedestrian safety. So I want to thank the administration, our engineering department, and our and Ralph Albinair and his department, and our road department, who's going to work on restriping and making a difference, by the school. Probably about a month ago, residents who live by the Roosevelt School asked the county to look into that. And government usually works pretty slow. This is one time the government really worked fast and efficiently to make the area a safer place for people to walk on. We recently concluded another successful season in Plays in the Park with over 27,000 attending the 3 musicals. It was a season that appealed to everybody. Sunset Boulevard was a big hit for our senior audiences. Shrek saw the largest number of kids, and Bye Bye Birdie brought in the whole family. Next on our stage in Plays in the Park is a 9th annual free Labor Day weekend concert on Sunday, August 31st. The main attraction will be the cast of Beatlemania in celebration of the Beatles' 50th anniversary in America. The second group performing will be the highly acclaimed Tusk, the ultimate Fleetwood Mac tribute band. The concert will begin at 4, the gates open up at 3, and patrons are asked to bring their own lawn chairs. And speaking of concerts, we had a particularly great summer in regard to attendance at our free summer concert series in Spring Lake, Warren, Thompson, and Raritan Bay waterfront. Upwards to 7,000 people listened to everything from swing to classical, rock and roll, and at our beautiful concert gazebos. On Saturday and Sunday in October, we closed the big door to the outside stage that plays in the park and hold our indoor children's musical. This year we are presenting Disney, The Little Mermaid. The dates are October 11th, 12th, 18th, 19th, and 25th. There will be 2 performances on each date, 1 and 4 p.m. The tickets for adults are $3, children are $2. To reach the theater, you may call 732-548-2885. And I also, I was there with Kenny today, and I nominated Mickey Gross. Of course, I text Mickey Gross, but I text the wrong Mickey Gross, I guess, because he never got my text. So, and I nominated him because he never answered my text, but I know why he never answered it, because I text the wrong person. But Mickey Gross, you're challenged, and you have 24 hours to dump a cold bucket of ice over your head. If you need help, I'm available. Thank you, Freeholder Director.
Thank you, Freeholder Tamara. Freeholder Blanquita Valenti.
I want to commend my Freeholder colleagues that I was a witness today to their being dumped all this ice. I think Freeholder Armour had 3 buckets of ice poured over him, and you only had 1, but they got soaking wet.
Including my underwear.
Anyway, it was for a very good cause. From the Department of Community Services, to bring you up to date, last month Freeholder Polis talked about follow-up to the recent heroin and opiates summit. The County Office of Human Services, which has lead responsibility for education and prevention activities related to drug and alcohol addiction, welcomes the input generated at this forum, and in order to maximize coordination, key stakeholders from the forum have been invited to join the Middlesex County chapter of the Association of Student Assistance Professionals, ASAP, of New Jersey. It's a group underwritten by the Office of Human Services through a grant from the New Jersey Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services. This integration will allow efforts to be coordinated and will enhance ASAP's robust monthly meetings with specific agenda items to address heroin and opiate issues in the county. In addition, educators who participate in the forum have been invited to join with the recovering community and Middlesex County Local Advisory Committee on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, which we refer to as LACADA. There will be an open house on September 22nd at 5 p.m. right here, the County Administration building. The LACADA is a Citizen Advisory Board established to provide public leadership for the county in the area of addiction services. And it coincides with the observation of National Recovery Month in Middlesex County. It's in its 25th year. It promotes the many benefits of prevention, treatment, and recovery. For another subject, September 2014 has been identified as Passport Awareness Month with the regional theme of customer convenience, and in recognition of this, the Middlesex County Clerk's Passport Division will be open right here in this Freeholder meeting room on the first floor, of course, of our county building on Saturday, September the 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the convenience of those residents who would like to apply for a U.S. passport but find it very difficult to take time off from work and children out of school during the week. So for additional information on the requirements for applying for the passport as well as the associated fees, you please call the Middlesex County Passport Office 732-745-3405. And I would like to take a minute to highlight the work that has been done by the Passport Division. As the eyes and ears of the U.S. Department of State, the office plays a critical role in processing passport applications correctly and being alert to potential cases of fraud or child adoption. Each year, the staff in this office completes a recertification class that includes a vigorous examination. And the county passport staff completed this class in July, with everyone passing with flying colors. And thank you to all the staff for their hard work and diligence. And finally, I just want to highlight the 3 grant agreements with HUD that were included in tonight's agenda. And these agreements bring a total of $2.6 million into Middlesex County for projects benefiting low-income people, the elderly, the disabled, and the homeless. And they also provide for the creation of a new affordable housing for our residents through acquisition, construction, rehabilitation, and a first-time home buyers program. And that is my report.
Thank you, Freeholder Valente. I would just like to make a few comments. I also attended the boardwalk dedication in Old Bridge in memory of our late freeholder, mayor, senator, and county treasurer Jim Phillips. It was an honor and a pleasure to name that boardwalk in his memory. He was a true public servant, and he's sorely missed. I also attended the and by the way, the boardwalk was heavily damaged by Superstorm Sandy, and a lot of the work that was done in-house by our own Parks Department people, which was a major cost savings for the county. And I also attended the plays in the park, Sunset Boulevard, and Bye Bye Birdie, and they were phenomenal. And I challenge anyone to say that those plays and those actors, between those actors and those musicians and those singers and dancers, they can go on Broadway. I attest to that. That's a fact. Okay. Mr. Kelso, any resolutions to be added?
Yes, Freeholder Director, we have 2 resolutions proposed for addition. The first would be 14-1561, which would be to authorize execution of a lease agreement with the State of New Jersey, intergovernmental use agreement and sublease between New Jersey Department of Labor and Middlesex County for the Office of Workforce Development, 550 Jersey Avenue, for the period December 1st, 2012 through November 30, 2013, in a total amount of $177,518.18, and for the period of December 1st, 2013 through November 30th, 2014, a total amount not to exceed $253,000, which is grant funded. The second resolution proposed for addition would be 14-1562, which would be to authorize the execution of the NTP approval letter for Amendment 1 to proceed with construction of a communications tower at Tower Center 2 in the Township of East Brunswick. And we would need a roll call vote on that.
Is there a motion to add that to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Barrett-Palante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valente?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Kelso, any resolutions to be amended?
There are none.
Any resolutions to be held?
Yes, we have one resolution to be held, 14-1499,
which is to authorize payment in a total amount of $16,075.11 to Allied Fire and Safety for emergency repair service to the fire alarm sprinkler system at the George J. Outlaski Senior Center for Mental Health. The repairs were performed per bid B 13-110R at the awarded hourly rates, but the funds were not included in the contract award. This will be held for future consideration.
We don't need a motion, right?
Well, we should have a motion then.
Okay, is there a motion to hold?
A whole motion.
Is there a second? Okay, a motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call?
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Barrett Palante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny? Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes. Are there any resolutions to be voided?
There are none.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open the meeting up to the public on any discussion on only any of the resolutions that are listed for tonight. Anyone from the public?
I move to close the public portion for the resolutions.
Second.
Motion to close by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda and voted separately?
I have one. It's resolution 14-1510.
Anyone else?
Mine's
Yes.
1403.
Okay, Freeholder Armwood?
Yes, I have 14-1510 and also 14-1527.
And I have 14-1527.
Yes.
So, Mr. Kelso.
Yes, Freeholder Director, a motion would then be in order to adopt the consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 14-1364 through 14-1562, including resolution 14-1191 and 14-1356, which were previously held, and excluding resolution 14-1499 to be held, and resolutions 14-1403, 14-1510, and 14-1527 to be voted upon separately.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call?
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Barrett Palante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny? Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes.
Now, Freeholder Director, it would be appropriate to consider resolution 14-1403, which was excluded by Freeholder Tamaro.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Kenny. Roll call?
Freeholder Armwood?
Yes.
Freeholder Barrett Palante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny?
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro?
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes.
And now, Freeholder Director, it would be appropriate to consider resolution 14-1510, which was excluded by both Freeholder Valenti and Freeholder Armwood.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Kenny. Roll call, please.
Freeholder Armwood?
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Barrett Palante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny? Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Yes.
And now, finally, Freeholder Director, it would be appropriate to consider resolution 14-1527, which was excluded by both Freeholder Armwood and Freeholder Director Rios.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call?
Freeholder Armwood?
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Barrett Palante?
Yes.
Freeholder Kenny? Freeholder Tamaro?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rios?
Present, not voting.
That's it.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public on any items, for any discussion. Anyone in the public?
A motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Motion to close by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.